Good evening, traders. It's Mark here from the Day Trading Room. Time's actually 9:30. No, it's 8:30 London time on Saturday evening, and on a Saturday evening, every good trader is reviewing his trades for the week. Yeah, latest video out there. I think I'm going to talk about Friday's trades actually. Um, Fantastic week, really, really good. Loads of great setups. If any of you watched the webinar, it's been tick pullback galore on this past week, especially with the edged up trend we've had and surprise move and shorts cover in and all sorts of data coming out. It's just been fantastic for opportunity for that setup and others. Couldn't have asked for more, really. Couldn't have asked for more. So I'm going to run through Friday's setup. Now, obviously, long weekend for US guys in the US. So happy 4th of July to my American blog readers and YouTube listeners. Um, so I was expecting a quiet day, to be honest. I thought, okay, it's maybe a day where I don't trade. I actually go into the day. It's a bit of a standing joke in the office. I go into the day saying, well, this could be the day that I don't place a trade. There might be no opportunities, and if there are no opportunities, I'm not going to trade. But hey, we've got some great opportunities. The market drifted lower. I've cleaned up my chart a bit here, by the way, on the laptop, so might be missing some usual lines back and forth from laptop to the desktop half the time of the videos. But as I'm at home, I'm on the laptop. So anyway, the market was just drifting down, real drift. No opportunity. I couldn't see an opportunity. I think if you'd have sold the open for the gap fill, fine. Didn't really pick that up on my radar. Didn't see an opportunity. Knew there was some data coming out at 3 o'clock. Two lots of data, and bang, reprice. This is perfect. If you could put this in, if you want to print this chart out, get your chart up, however you configure your charts, and print this out. This is just the perfect setup. In term, okay, it didn't. Perhaps it could have yielded more on the first impulse, but in terms of how it's set up and how the initial move starts, this is exactly what you want. Okay, data came out and we'll get what I call a reprice. So three green candles. Doesn't have to be specifically three, but I like to see a sustained move in one direction, not just one spike and back down again. Once you've got that, uh, you're looking for some sort of unwinding. Now, in the video, I talk about ticks pulling back to zero. But I also talk about them pulling back not quite to zero. I don't know if I mentioned it on the webinar, but some sort of retracement. I did actually say that sometimes you only get to 200 or 300 when it's a really strong move, and on the other side it would be to minus 200. So that's what we got pretty much. Good spike up. The ticks pulled back. We found support. It was so clear on the tape. It was just one of those perfect tape setups. Just seeing that buyer holding. But even if the tape wasn't quite there for you, you can see it on the chart. You can see on the chart good support here. There's no reason not to buy. I bought very aggressively there, and actually I'll go through an earlier setup. I'm going to use a 55 tick chart, so I'm not allowed to show you that. But I had three buys. This was the second of the buys. Very aggressive buying for me, scaling out into the pop higher, holding a core of the position, and actually buying again on the tick pullback to zero. Now, I actually got a little bit concerned. I thought, am I being greedy on this? I really thought, oh, am I being greedy? But the strength was there, and I still believed we were going to get another 1,000 tick reading. That's what my premise was. That's what I was looking for. So I was in on this. I took a little bit of heat. A few ticks. It was nothing. But I thought I'd perhaps misjudged it a bit. But no, we got the push up. Scared out quite early because we were late into the move, so scared out the risk, and then held for the premise of the 1,000 tick, and bang, we got it, and then I'm all out of the position there. So fantastic opportunities. I think it was great that it happened just after the webinar. So hopefully you guys got on there. In fact, I got an email from. Let me find the email. I'm just going to pause it and find who the email was from. Okay, the email was from Dan, and he was pleased that he managed to catch that tick pullback after the spike move. He said he watched the tick webinar, and he managed to implement some of the strategies on there, which is fantastic. We're getting a couple of these emails now. Primarily the blog started as a way of me improving my trades and documenting my trades instead of writing them down. But it's sort of grown now into helping other traders, which is great because I think everybody can trade for a living. You just need the right guidance and the right mindset and all the other things that go with it. And it's fantastic when people are implementing or watching videos and webinars, and then putting some of that stuff to practice and integrating it with their own trading and putting their own little flavour on it. I think that's great. So yeah, great trades, two great trades there. I say a little bit nervous on that, but I thought I was being a bit greedy, but it turned out okay. I'm going to put the 55 tick chart here, just for no reason, that 55, just so we can see this. This was the first, and actually this is my first trade, and this was my more aggressive trade because it was the very, very first pull back in here. You didn't have much opportunity to get in there, but anyway, we so I've got time and sales up here actually. Just paused the video back then and just brought up time and sales. So I want to run through the first pullback trade on a very, very, very short-term basis. So just to recap, there were three trades for me. The very short-term pullback after the initial pulse, which was tape reading. The second was the first tick pullback to, let me get the 1 minute on. First was around this sort of level here, and I'm showing on a 55 tick. The second was this trade here on the tick unwinding to 200. And the third, which is the one I got a little bit greedy of, but got away with it in the end, was the pullback to zero. So I want to run through actually. I've got an idea. I've just loaded up the time and sales back from then, 3 o'clock. And I'm going to talk about, let's just see what actually happened on time and sales. So 3 o'clock data came out, bang, we get a good push up, and you can see this on the time and sales, okay? 73, 76, 79, just solid buying. You can see the time there. It is just constant buying. It's just pushing it straight up. Unless you're just stabbing at it, you're not going to get that. And at the end of the day, you don't know at this very moment. You don't know in the first few seconds whether it's just a spike up and then going to get slammed down. You need to see some sort of strength, push up, retracement on the tape by a few ticks, hold. That's the key. The level, the pulling back, you see the bids holding, you see just that little retracement, and then bang, extra aggressive. That's a great setup. So you can see the time of sales 85, 90s. We're trading at the 90s. Bang, we trade up to, look at this, just solid buying. We traded up to 04, 5, 6, 10, 12. We got a trade at 13. Some guy bought one at 13 there, and that was that high tick of the move. And then we started to pull back a little bit, and you can just see now. Okay, see in the next sort of few seconds we start to rock back to 4. But you can see how quickly we actually move back, and that's because of the vacuum that gets created when we get this spike up. Traders haven't got a chance to put bids in, so when people start hitting bids on a little retracement, you sometimes get quite an aggressive retracement because there are no bids there. So we get what I call a vacuum. So you can see, we traded up there to 13. No, actually, there's a couple of people traded there, not just one. And then we pulled back pretty much within a second down to 03. And then you can see there was not a lot there traded, and we pulled straight back down to 98. Now, this was where it got interesting because now you can see that for several seconds, I know it's only seconds, guys, but really on the tape it seems like an eternity, and you can see how much a second would move. So for several seconds we'd stayed at 98. We stayed at 98, 97, 97s, 98s, and then we see the buying come back in. Bang, the buying steps back up. The offers start getting hit, and I'm all over that. Here we can see the 401 holding, sellers hitting it, not going anywhere. and then obviously buyers coming back in. 400 holding again. Levels holding are a great, and that was obviously the last stand, if you like. Levels holding, the 400 is holding, sellers hitting it, but we're not seeing any 99 prints, or if we are, it's not staying there long, and then the bid's back on, and then we're seeing buyers stepping up, and the offer actually lifting quite a lot based on the buy. So that's the entry for me. Bang, I'm in, and I'm looking then for a good solid push, and then we obviously got the push up, and I'm riding this. I'm trying to squeeze as much out of it as I can, into sort of high tick readings, that sort of thing. I'm just looking for that spike higher. Once you've got your entry, then the exit just becomes scaling into pops, scaling to short-term tape pops, scaling to short-term. So three trades on the Friday. Oh, let me get my screen pen out. One, the tape reads around here, as I showed on the 55 tick chart, which is what I like. That really like that trade. Very, very, very tight stop on that though, just because it could be a spike and then a drive lower. Because we've got several seconds of it holding, I was happy to take that. This is my preferred trade. This is the one I got nice and aggressive on. The hold there, you've got time to think about it. The tick's pulling back, a little bit of an unwinding. But look, I don't like to repeat myself, but pushed higher, pulled back, tick's pulled back. The price is hardly going anywhere relative to this drive. That's a good drive. Tick's pulling back, price not pulling back. It's just waiting to explode to the upside. Risk is so quantified. You can see we've already put a low in. So you don't need to risk that much. Take the trade, take some out of the high, stick with it if you feel it's going to go higher. However you want to play it. Once you've got the entry, work the position as much as you like. So trade one, trade two, and then the final trade was this. Was it here? It was a little bit earlier actually. I think it was this candle here. So it took a little bit of heat. But I was just sitting with it thinking, oh, have I been greedy here? Am I going to take a stop on this and give back some gains? But it was nice. So I scaled out most of the risk on that push up, and then thought, well, you know what? I've sat with it. It's caused me a bit of grief. Let's wait for that 1,000 tick. And there we go. We got the 1,000 tick. I didn't quite get the top, but was more than happy with that. So good, great Friday, great way to end the week. Didn't get involved in any of the rest of this stuff. We did have a counter trend cycle lower and a push up, but I was more than happy to be done. And same sort of trades. Thursday we had that. Tick pullback again. Anytime you get in that reprice, watch the ticks. Just watch those ticks because there's opportunity there. Even on this, not quite as clean, but there you go. You got to break lower. Tick pullback, almost to zero. Zero's great, but sometimes doesn't quite make it when it's really strong. So loads of opportunities last week. I think that's the video I put on the on YouTube. So loads of opportunities last week. I really hope, guys, you managed the risk. Trading, your strategy, sticking to your plan, sticking to your risk management. Going to do a risk management webinar. I haven't decided the day on that yet, so I need to put some stuff together for it. But I think it's a key topic, so look out for that. So good trading, guys. Thank you for your emails, as always. Really appreciate your feedback. Love to hear that you've got some use from the videos. I think that's great. So good trading, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your 4th of July to my friends in the US, and probably be back with another video later in the week. Take care.